Mother, man.
Hi, this is Aleister Crowley, and when I'm not fucking go-to worshiping Satan, I'm listening to Murder Metal Mayhem, bitches!
And a case of the clap and a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
Well, goddamn, got Aleister Crowley and Chris doing some promo for Murder Metal Mayhem.
Fuck yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?
Hell yeah, it is Tuesday, doing that thing we do here at Horns High Studios on our Horns High Podcast Network. And we had a scheduling conflict the last time we were here, so it's nice going back to our usual Tuesday. And going to tear apart episode 153 tonight.
Yes,
got Joey and Chris here with me. How's everybody doing tonight?
Grand.
Chris, your head shaved and
Fuck
everything.
yeah, I shaved it all off, dude.
Looking all sleek.
It's actually long, dude.
Wow. Excellent. What about T-shirts? What do we got on? Chris, what you sporting over there?
Man, I got my one of my favorite shirts Joey got me, actually, dude.
Oh,
Fucking
that's right.
Old school Prohibition picture where they're carrying the signs say we want beer. Fucking
nice.
I actually had somebody ask me, like, is that like a real picture? I'm like, oh yeah, that's a straight out of Prohibition. That's a real fucking picture.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Joey, what about you, dude?
I got the Bill Nye shirt on.
Nice.
I was rocking that because my buddy was supposed to go into jail for a while.
I saw that, man.
He turned himself in on a warrant, and they fucking didn't fucking keep him. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did see that, so I'm glad he's seems to be turning it around a little bit. What he was obviously bumming out about having to go to jail.
Right.
So,
hell yeah.
That's good to know that he seems to be doing better, and that's awesome, sporting a shirt. And I've got my classic Murder Metal Mayhem T-shirt on, a little company T-shirt here with the
fucking self-promotion.
That's right. The ghouls coming out of the cemetery, me, you, Joey and CK, and Jeff Gaither designed it, and so
Stephanie went down to Florida, and she was fucking on the way back on the plane. She had the Murder Metal Mayhem shirt. She was like, "Man, I hope that TSA doesn't."
Oh, right.
Like, shit,
please come with
cool.
us. Yeah, please come with us. We heard about those fucking idiots. Yeah, so last week, though, we had a couple of bonus episodes for you guys since I was out with some carpal tunnel surgery. I'll have a quick update on that later. Everything's going fine. We released 2 Patreon-only interviews, previously only for Patreon. One with John Borowski, the documentarian, the serial killer guy, and Nige Rocket, the guitarist of the band Onslaught, who we talk about all the time because of the 666 music. So we hope you guys like those. If you missed either one, go on and give them a listen. We had about 500 or 600 for each one of those. So very cool. So thank you guys.
That's good for a fucking old school.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was very good. Tonight, though, we got another crazy one, starting off the month of October with a twisted motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
The great beast himself, Aleister Crowley. We've had quite a few listeners over the years say, when are you going to do Aleister Crowley? And I've always had him on the list because I knew it would be a crazy one to do. And
figured October would be the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a self-proclaimed Satanist. He's been part of heavy metal lore for fucking years. We all know the Ozzy song, right? Mr. Crowley. And so
I was
that's
saying
what
that you should do that for fucking karaoke.
I actually was going to, but my hand was bothering me that day. I was trying to finish up the notes.
You get a pass on it because of that. Otherwise,
no, I actually had the music and everything ready to go. I found a really good one with the solo was spot on. It was really cool. And I was bummed I did not do it, but I got the real Mr. Crowley for bumper music from the 80s, because that's how most people know of Crowley really in the modern age, is the Ozzy song. So we're going to be doing some other creepy shit in October. And so, certainly starting it out right with some Aleister Crowley. He has been on the list since the very beginning. So Got CK warming up, ready to throw down in the metal segment. He's actually going to be talking about doing something different this week, Chris.
A little bit different for sure.
Yeah, he's going to be talking about Crowley's influence on other bands. So there's been quite a few of them.
Not
CK.
just Ozzy, just because there's been, like you said, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for the bumper music this week, I could have put 20 songs on there. There's so many.
Yeah.
I just picked a couple, plus, the obvious classic. I could not
You gotta put
pass
that in
on
there.
Mr. Crowley. So CK mixing it up a bit. He'll do that for us in the metal segment. Got a killer cage match tonight. Got some listeners, Chris. We want to say thank you to.
Yeah, we got Justin Morris, Rebecca Boomsock, always in there.
Yep.
And we got Sarah Miller. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Fucking listening and checking the shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Always good to see the names each week, especially Rebecca, man. She's there every time.
Right? Every time, dude.
And we have a good one tonight, Joey. A couple of blasts from our past here.
In the right corner from Kansas City, Robert Burdella. In the right corner, left, whichever.
The other.
From the Moors, Ian Brady.
Right.
Ian Brady and fucking Burdella going at it in the cage.
That's going to be sick, man. Burdella was nasty, man.
Yeah.
Ian Brady, though, he was killing kids.
He's
though.
killing.
So,
yeah,
you
so
know.
there's
We'll have
that.
to see what the variable. and
That's
such
right.
is.
Objects and variable can make it crazy. We know that. So
Fuck yeah.
we'll do that in Mayhem. Thanks to everybody out there listening to the show. We continue to see the numbers rolling in. This week, 2,870 total listens. So thank you. That's very cool, especially in a week where we had a couple of bonus episodes because we were off.
Speaking of
So,
that number of listens, 2,870.
That's right.
Didn't we have a winner for that?
We do. Speaking of listeners, our listener, Christy Grand, for winning the
hell yeah.
contest.
Nice.
Christy, I'm not sure where she's from because I couldn't see that on her profile since we're not friends on Facebook. But anyway, Christy, if you're listening, you've got 48 hours. You've got until, we'll say Saturday at midnight to Central Time to respond to this by emailing me very simply because you guessed 2,800 listens and it was 2,870. So you guessed you were the closest that wasn't over. And the contest
Way to
was,
count them jelly beans.
That's right. That's right. She wins the Murder Metal Mayhem activity book, Chris,
That's
the
awesome.
classic.
Hell yeah.
Color Joe Matheny, Ricky Casso, some good word searches and serial killer
Right.
crossword puzzles. And
But if you get that
some
email
stickers.
before 48 hours, though.
That's right. And that's how she gets a copy of my new book, Creation of
Right.
Chaos
Either
3.
way, you still get the activity book.
Right. So all you got
Bonus
to do,
prize.
Christy, is email me at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com and I'll send you all of that stuff. So Saturday midnight is the deadline for that. But like Chris said, if you miss it, you're still going to get the original promised activity book and
Right.
stickers. All right. All right. So Joey, Chris, got a lot on our plate tonight. Going to be taking a little trip across that pond. We've done this a few times. Getting out some black candles and starting some incantations.
Fucking let's get our fucking Satan on.
Satan, Satan, Satan.
Satan, Satan.
little Ozzy there for you. If
Of
you don't know
course.
that song, you need to get the fuck going, man. I don't know about anything else, but
Even if you don't like Ozzy, you know.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
but-
Mr. Crowley is classic, man.
That just makes me think of like, okay, there's probably maybe some younger listeners maybe that it's not as prominent to them,
Yeah.
But what that made me think of was I was sitting at fucking work the other day, and this is how I'm just going to start our podcast.
Yeah.
But no, it was so fucked up. I didn't even say nothing. I didn't open my mouth, but I heard these kids talking at work because they're all younger there,
Right.
And fucking, they're like, "Oh, did you see they're gonna make a Teen Wolf movie? Remember that series?" And they were talking. I'm like,
Do you know they make series came from a fucking movie?
"Movie,"
Right?
Wow,
of which there
right.
were two of back in the
Right,
day.
exactly.
But they like totally had no clue that there was they were like, "Oh my god, this movie's coming out off this." I'm like, I just left the room.
Yeah, you almost can't. So I get you though, but yeah, Mr. Crowley,
Yes.
iconic, and for sure had to play it tonight. A little extended with the organ
yeah.
intro and all that. That we're talking about this very, very intriguing figure from the 20th century, for very influential on a lot of artists, bands, people that are into occultism.
Yep.
Fucking Aleister Crowley, man, getting nasty tonight, Chris.
A little bit.
Satanic, pretty fucked up. He was dubbed the wickedest man in the world, and he called himself the Great Beast 666.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, that's
You gotta
pretty
love people
fucking
that give
sick.
themselves a badass name.
Yeah,
No, dude, just call
especially in the-
No, this is what you call me, bro.
In the early 1900s, too.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
goddamn. I mean, it's pretty ballsy. Most people in the modern age would know about Crowley from the Ozzy song, like we said. But for some, he's a very influential figure in the dark world of black magic, the occult, mysticism. And I'll admit, I mean, back in the 80s, I had some interest in that sort of thing, like a lot of other metalheads did. But I quickly, found I wasn't really interested in it. It was more of a passing fad. But,
It was
I'm not saying anything against people that are into that stuff. It's just not for me.
it's like
That's
I'm
all.
evil, dude. I like magic.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, made you feel like, oh, wow, people are freaked out because I got the Satanic Bible.
Right, exactly,
And
dude.
it's really not what people would think that it is. I honestly, don't take some of this kind of stuff seriously, but I do find it intriguing. And we will talk about Crowley, his life, his passions, and
His
definitely the
passion.
sordid side.
He liked to fuck.
Yeah, and it was okay if they were animals and stuff
Didn't
too.
matter.
No, all of the above is what he was circling on that one. So we're gonna do it. He also, had a way of looking at things that a lot of people could get behind. And I could see where some of the allure was with that. Just kind of do what you want, basically. He was having orgies with animals and
Yeah.
doing some pretty fucked up shit. So as I was going through this, I'm kind of recuperating from the surgery, and I'm just like, okay, I could only handle so much of this. But Chris, what did you know about Crowley before we did research for this one tonight?
I knew that he was a fucked up individual. I didn't really know a whole lot about what he fucking actually did throughout life. I just knew he was a guy that was into fucking like the occult and shit. I didn't really know a lot.
Right. Yeah, definitely a very intriguing. The name has got kind of an interesting ring to it. Joey, what about you, man?
Probably kind of like you. I mean, I was young in the 80s, so the song Mr. Crowley was probably my first introduction to even who that dude was.
Right.
And then, when I was probably like young teens and thinking I was all Satanist and
Right.
Right.
into some evil, like you said, like friends got the fucking Satanic Bible,
Right.
I got the Anarchist Cookbook. We're reading these things like
Right.
we're doing something, and like it was kind of like a fad, and I grew out of it myself. But I'm not talking shit because some people that believe in that shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
for real,
I I agree.
To me, I just, I personally grew out of it, but that's how I did find out about Crowley and Anton LaVey, like
Oh, yeah.
all that at about the same time for me. And to be honest, it wasn't too far off from the time I was first listening to like fucking Deicide and Morbid Angel. So
Right.
that all made sense too, because I'm fucking listening to what they're talking about.
Sure.
And then watching Hellraiser and shit too. and
Right.
Fucking,
Oh
so-
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to get away from it if you were doing anything like any of us in this room into metal
Yeah.
and stuff like that back in the day. A lot of the satanic imagery. It's
kind
got
of
a lot
funny
of the
because
Crowley stuff, LaVey, both kind of hand in hand.
it was like while I was growing up, it was almost like I don't know, like fucking our musical tastes fucking are kind of what separated some of me and some of the people I knew or just other people or whatnot. It's like I grew up in fucking you get the black metal and the death metal side, and the people that were into more the evil shit or things like that, they went with the black metal, and I was more into like the death and the gore and shit.
Right.
So I went with the death metal side.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because it was like people you all listened to the same shit growing up, like the thrash and all that.
Right.
But when shit got a little more extreme, then people had started getting their own persona, I guess.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you get people fracturing like that.
Right,
Because,
yeah.
I would have gone to the death metal side myself. Not a huge black metal fan, but again, like with the Crowley stuff, hey, if it's your thing, that's awesome.
hell yeah.
We're just going to talk about it. He was born Edward Alexander Crowley in 1875 in Warwickshire. That's a fucking tongue twister. Warwickshire. Thank you. England.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Worcestershire sauce.
Born Edward, though, not Aleister. We'll talk about that. It's in England. A very wealthy home. He's an only child. They did have a daughter that died as a baby. I think when he was very young.
Heard that she died like hours after being born.
I think that was right. Yeah, it wasn't long. But, that time period, certainly that was a lot more common.
For sure.
His father, Edward, was an engineer, but had a share of the family business.
Fuck yeah, badass.
Crowley's Alton Ales, Chris, a brewery, man.
Is that something that's still around?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know, but
think
that
it
would be
lasted,
funny if it was,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny that they made all their money off a brewery because they were like crazy religious,
Yeah,
like
right.
over the top religious, which does seem kind of funny. But his dad does retire, so maybe that's why. Is he thought, hey, I don't agree with this, so I'm just going to get out of this
Right.
and take my millions and go right off into the sunset. So who knows? But he does retire before Aleister's even born, and it would be later in his college years that he would take on that name, Aleister. And for our purposes, we'll just call him that. It's just a lot easier.
Yeah, who the fuck's Edward Coward?
No, from what I've read and heard, I have not seen any significance to Aleister. It was a very common English name, so it wasn't like some really unique name. And nobody really seems to know if it was had a meaning to him, but nobody that I heard. I don't know. Did you guys hear anything about
It
that?
meant 666. I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't see nothing about
Yeah, I didn't see anything. So he retires. He's got this son. The parents are evangelical Christians, Chris, so very, very religious. And, sometimes we find with people that end up like Crowley, into satanic stuff, they're rebelling against their parents, even as adults. His father was actually born a Quaker and then became a preacher of the Christian fundamentalists known as the Plymouth Brethren. Very strict sect, big influence on Aleister as a child. He wanted to be a preacher as well.
Which is nuts.
Mother,
As a kid, he wanted to be a preacher. See what but he was super young too.
Very young, yeah. But his dad, like most kids, big influence on him. But his mom, he had a really strange relationship with his mother. She was very, very super religious as well. She actually called him the Beast.
He just added the 666.
Yeah,
she called him the
He
Beast.
modified it a little bit.
Right. But he rolled with it.
He sexied it up a little bit.
He rolled with it, though. He's just fuck
Okay.
yeah, I got the best nickname. I just got to add a little pizzazz to that shit.
There you go.
Started
There
to put
you
it
go.
together. Crowley's had a brewing company,
Yeah.
and they called him the Beast. And now you got Milwaukee's Best, which they call the Beast.
Beast.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
I wonder if that's Crowley's secret recipe.
It could be. It could be. His mother, though, really a strange relationship there. Very, very strained. Now, Chris, I read that his dad would read Bible verses to him
Yeah.
and his mother at the breakfast table.
Which
I don't know,
is strange.
Pawback, is
Dad
that
does
something
that,
he's
yeah.
doing?
Dad be doing that all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then he'll fucking get up and fucking kick the chair and be like, now get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was just trying to imagine breakfast at the Shawbacks with Pawback getting all biblical.
It's painful sometimes. It's like, so we really got to do this again.
Now, Joey, it is funny, someone growing up like this going the way Crowley does, but we've talked before when we did our episode about your particular upbringing in the church. Did you want to speak on that whole, very religious people and how they kind of look at things?
Right. I mean,
differently than the rest of us?
Yeah. As far as my family went, I've met people throughout the years that were like way more fanatical about Jesus and all that stuff. So
Right.
I'm not trying to say like my family was like super crazy strict on it, but I did go to church all the time. My family is involved heavily in it. But you got, I don't know, it's kind of like playing Russian roulette because you got two fucking kids, just say, and one of the, you bring them both up the same way and you're fucking harping that into their heads. And especially we're talking more extreme with, Crowley with his mom and shit, but than anything I did. But you got these people and you're telling them all this shit. And then you got one who he's going to fucking grow up and fucking see things a different way. He's not going to fucking,
Right.
everything you just told him looks like a lie to him. So he's going to be like,
Right.
fuck that shit. And he's going to fucking, fall from grace and rebel against that shit. And then you got somebody else who, through that teaching, they believe it so much they continue to do that in their life. And if their life coincides with that path where that can continue on and they feel that that's a true faith for them,
Right.
then they can become, anywhere from fucking somewhat interested to fanatical about it, but
Right.
their belief system can be there forever. So it's really hard to tell. It's like, okay, you want to push your belief so hard into your kids so that they'll grow up the way that you think that they should,
Right.
the way that you see right for the world and shit. But man, it's really hard to tell if that kid's going to fucking reject that information
Or take it and run with it.
right.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I'm sure that would be, fascinating.
In this case, obviously, Aleister is like, fuck that.
Going the opposite.
I'm going way the other way.
All hardcore here.
Yeah.
So at 8 years old, Aleister is sent to the evangelical Christian boarding school. He was sent to a preparatory school in Cambridge run
Crowley
by
was
a
a
preacher. Run by a preacher who Aleister would later call a sadist. So I don't know if he was into like whipping kids in the ass with a paddle type of thing. And he's referring to him as a sadist for that reason, but I don't know. I didn't see that. I'm just joking around.
Like Ed Gein or fucking Albert Fish style.
Exactly.
Yeah, straight up Albert.
Right.
Fish,
I mean, he called the guy a sadist. I don't know. There had to be a reason.
Right.
March of 1887, Aleister would have been 11. His dad dies of tongue cancer. That's brutal.
I've never heard of somebody
Me
with
either.
tongue cancer. That's fucking.
Me
Me either
That's
until
fucked
this
up.
fucking, that would be fucking shitty though, dude.
Right?
That fucked him. That fucked his world up because he's, like I said, he's only 11 and
Yeah.
he, like, worshipped his dad basically.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
when the fucking, all right, fuck you, God, I'm
Yeah.
going the other way shit started.
That's true. And, unfortunately, we've seen this before. Big, radical change in their life, parent passing at a young age. It just really fucks them up. As it would with anybody. I mean, anybody losing a dad at that age, that's tough. I mean, he's, referred to him as his hero. And, most kids at that age look at their parents that way, Now that his dad is gone, though, he inherits a little bit of money, guys. He's very, very wealthy.
Hell yeah.
He would begin acting out and doing all sorts of stupid shit in school. I mean, why not?
Like,
Fuck
I got
it.
all this money. Why
Yeah.
am I even going to be in school?
Right. Fuck all you
Yeah,
guys.
it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go climb some
I'm just
mountains.
going to cause havoc and just fucking drive you guys crazy because I'm so rich. He was punished for that by the preacher that he said was a sadist. So maybe that's where the lashings on his buttocks came from. He goes on to college, and that's when he starts to strike out against Christianity, pointing out inconsistencies in the Bible to his religious professors. Of Of course, not going to be a big hit with them.
It never is.
No.
Never. Hey, but what about this part and this part?
Right. Yeah.
That was a typo.
Go sit down. Aleister would do things that weren't accepted by their religious teachings. He's smoking, he's masturbating apparently a lot, and having sex with prostitutes where he contracts a little gonorrhea.
Fucking right.
Having some STDs, Chris.
He's having a good time, though.
He is. And Chris, speaking of that, at age 14, he loses his virginity to the maid on his mom's bed.
I think that was he lost his virginity to somebody else, but the maid on the mom's bed is for real.
Right. And then they fired her.
Yeah, just out of spite because he fucking hated his mom at that point or whatever.
Right.
Just like, all right, fuck you, watch this.
Yeah.
And yep, they fired her.
Yeah, they fired her. But what's interesting, though, is I've heard that she could potentially be one of the Ripper victims because this would have happened right at that time. Right. So that's pretty fascinating. If Crowley has a tie to one of the Ripper victims. Right. I don't know. What I listened to, I'll reference it later, the actual podcast where I heard that. I just found it pretty fascinating.
Crowley could have been the Ripper.
It's very possible.
Very possible.
Very possible. Who knows? Yeah, because he would have been a teenager, but anything's possible, right? Yeah, I mean, and Jesse Pomeroy was a lot younger, right? It was during his time though that he become in college that he would become an accomplished mountain climber. This is fucking crazy. Climbing the fucking Alps. I mean, did you see some of those pictures of him? Did you see some of those pictures of him? He's like all like wild hair and like big bushy beard and looked like he'd just been like literally living in the Alps because he was. He's just looked rough, man. And he was a fucking beast though. I mean, legit. Climbing, he was the first person, I didn't catch the name of the mountain range or the mountain, but it was the first time a human being had ever done it without a guide. He did it. So it was pretty crazy. So definitely very accomplished with that stuff. I also read that there was an incident where he went climbing with a group and they got fucking sick of his ass, so they left him there.
Right.
And he told them, where you're going, you're going to, that's not safe.
Right.
Like, that's why he didn't want anything to do with it. And they were, like, basically telling him to fuck off, and they left him, and then most of them died from, like, an avalanche. Yeah, it's like, duh. And apparently,
he was
like,
summoning demons in the fucking tent when they were walking away, dude. Like,
yeah, and Crowley was like, when it happened, like apparently, like he could have like gone and got help, and he just laid in his tent.
Go, dude.
Laid in his tent, was just like, fuck him, exactly, So
told him not to go that way. Fuck.
Yeah, so pretty brutal stuff. And I found that fascinating though with the mountain climbing, and then that incident with the group, and he's also at this time writing and publishing a lot of poems and other writing. I read also that he published some horror short stories. I wanted to read one, but I couldn't find any of them online. I found a book of them, though, and I'm tempted to just buy it just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Because I really would love to read them. Apparently, he gave a go at writing horror short stories, so that would be kind of interesting. There's a book of them that he published late 1800s. I've never read any of them, so but some of his writing is pretty interesting.
Huh. Yeah, y'all are about to find out in a bit.
Yeah. Now, Joey, Crowley starts to get into that weird character that we're going to be talking about here. 1895, he's at Cambridge. He's studying philosophy. He has his first gay encounter. So he's starting to get kind of freaky with some of his beliefs. And this is where people kind of know of him from this time period.
Right, from here on, basically. I mean, he was a character. That's exactly what he was, and that's probably why his fucking persona has stood the test of time even to this day,
Right.
He's just a straight rebel. Dude.
Right. It's not so much like, his belief system, because he could have just been some normal Joe looking dude, but you start fucking looking like the devil.
Yeah, he's very intense looking.
Right. He's trying to look fucking the part of the beast, 666.
Right.
you know, and,
Doing a good job of it.
yeah. But like you said, from here on, like it all intensifies now.
Yeah, it keeps kind of ratcheting up here. He would continue to publish his own work, which, when you're rich, you just keep doing. Not like back then there was Amazon like I'm doing.
Right.
He would have been publishing, putting up quite a big chunk of cash to get
some books
published.
printed up. Yeah.
Yeah, so different time, of course. He's doing some erotic poetry. He's doing a lot of drugs.
Lots of fucking drugs.
Sex with prostitutes. He's getting syphilis, gonorrhea, other stuff, traveling the world, just doing a bunch of crazy shit.
He had to have been.
He's a young guy with a lot of money.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Fuck
Yeah, dude.
I mean, a lot of people would be like,
I'm gonna spend this money and have a good fucking time.
Yeah.
I didn't see any fucking influence cited, but he had to have been like Marquis de Sade crazy.
Oh, I would agree, man. He's just completely out of control because he was raised rich, so he's never had to do without. So
Right.
to him, it was just like, whatever,
I'm gonna do my life. Trust fund kid.
Yeah, for sure. He would really get into the occult when he came upon the secret society of the Order of the Golden Dawn. He would really take to their interpretation of the occult and mysticism and would rise up in their ranks pretty fast. And this caused some friction, though, within the group.
Yeah.
Eventually gets him thrown out. But this is kind of what got him started into the occult to the degree that we would know him for. Now, in my first band, we actually wrote a song called The Golden Dawn. Both of us had a copy of it. It would have been the same time as I had went through that phase of, reading that kind of stuff. And to me, it was interesting, but it was definitely nothing I really wanted to pursue. I just found it interesting. And so Crowley's getting into this sect. It's kind of almost like the Freemasons in a way. But this was certainly much more into the occult and that sort of thing. But, back then, again, in the 80s, this would have been a lot more of as Joey pointed out, just kind of a phase that a lot of people went through. Some people, again, still digging it, and that's awesome. Now, Chris, I did hear and read that some believe that Crowley was actually a spy for the British intelligence, which sounds kind of crazy with the shit we've been talking about. But he was a smart guy and he knew a lot of people. So, I mean, did you hear anything about don't remember or recall seeing anything about that. I ain't saying it ain't true. Yeah.
Or I just was not paying attention at that moment in time.
Well, when I was researching this, that one caught me off guard. Joey, what about you, man?
I didn't really see too much into it, but it made me think of the Whitey Bulger deal.
Right.
It's like the British could have used him because, like you said, he did know everybody. He was he ran in all the circles basically.
Right.
But if that was the case, he was definitely fucking doing his own thing,
right.
Regardless.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's very possible a rich guy with connections would be a perfect person to go undercover, because the one thing that I heard about this was that they said, hey, this is a group we don't know anything about and we have no way to infiltrate the group. So here's a guy that can get in with them and then tell us what they're really up to. Are they up to nefarious stuff, or is it just a religious thing and it's pretty harmless?
And at the same time, you guys can turn the other eye whenever I'm into necro-bestial sex.
Totally.
With,
right.
Orgies in our barns and shit.
Exactly. It's fucked up. So I guess anything is possible, but it does seem a bit outlandish to think that the military intelligence would have used him this way, but who knows? I read an article that claims the British have never denied the claim that he was a spy for them. So who the fuck knows? So it's 1900. Crowley spent some time in Mexico, which I also in this same podcast mentioned Mexico as being significant at that time because of oil, and governments were really trying to find places they could get oil to have more negotiating power for prices and stuff like that. So some wondered, was he there on the behalf of the British to find out where the places were and who the players were in Mexico if you want to drill for oil?
Gotta get away.
I don't know. It certainly makes you wonder, but who knows? They also talk about his involvement with the Freemasons, which I have to make a comment. I've probably said this before. But when I watch or listen or read stuff about the Freemasons, it makes me laugh, okay? Because, yes, there probably was some crazy shit that went on in like the 17 or 1800s with all groups, right?
Right.
But modern, okay, in America, Freemasons, okay, I belonged to the local Bloomington Masonic Lodge for a few years. I don't currently, and I have it for 20 plus years. But when I did, this is like guys meeting after work. They meet once a week. They play cards. They talk. They eat. There's always food there. And then if somebody's, going through one of the degrees, they'll do that. And I'm not going to get into all the specifics. But basically, they were a group of guys that weren't harming a fucking soul. And they were doing a shitload of charity work because the Masons are part of the Shriners, are part of the Freemasons. So Shriners are good, hospitals for kids. I mean, they do a lot of stuff. And so these are not these nefarious people, in dark corners doing black magic. It's nothing like that. It's a couple of guys hanging out, eating some walleye on a Thursday night and just talking about, what they've been up to and stuff like that. It's completely harmless. The people I met there were super nice. So
Pete's going to come
it
up
is kind of crazy.
There's going to be fucking Masonic symbols all over his head.
Well, and that's how I came up with the band name Low 12 was from the third degree in Freemasonry. So, but for no other reason than I liked the name, not that what it meant, although what it meant was interesting. But anyway, the Masonic thing just makes me laugh because they talk about it like, those Masonic, the Freemasons, and I'm thinking, okay, like back in the Knights Templar days, okay, yeah.
I can see
there was some brutal ass shit going on back then, but not now, at least not here in the U.S. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, I mentioned that Crowley was writing some really, really raunchy stuff. And in a lot of the podcasts I've listened to, I've heard them read parts of this, Chris, this poem.
Oh, yeah.
Leah Sublime. It's really bad. I know we don't normally give warnings,
really
but
not
this
that
is
bad.
just this is just kind of fucked up to think of somebody writing a poem like this. But it's very crude, but it is obviously Aleister Crowley and what I think Joey has to be. A gourmand. I don't know how you don't write a gourmand song called Leah Sublime.
No, the fucking lyrics to whatever. They're fucking definitely just basically fucking death metal, sick fucking shit.
Totally.
But yeah, we're gonna.
So we thought it would be fun to do a little twist on this, Joey, and have you read this for our listeners.
Yeah,
you're going to read the whole poem.
I'm going to read the whole. It's fucking
pretty extensive.
It's pretty long.
Yeah,
long, dude.
It's extensive.
So we're going to do this, and then you guys can hear it though. It's tight though. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, I knew you would be the best suited to do this.
I mean, I'm going to fuck this up about 10 times, but...
And you're going to do this in an accent, right?
What I'm going to do, I figured it because we talked about doing it as Punky Brooks, 419 Ho, but I don't want to do that because that would be too ridiculous.
Right.
And then we talked about like the English accent, but... all my accents sound fucking like my Australian sounds British and my English sounds. I'm terrible, but it's still funny. We were talking about Chris whenever he did the Ilsa fucking commercial.
Ilsa seamstress
Stephanie,
service,
she had said that you sound. I couldn't remember what it was. She said you sounded like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid.
That's hilarious. That's good stuff.
Anyway, so
yeah, we have fun. We try to do these accents and shit.
So I'm gonna say this whole thing, but I'm gonna do it like a Def Jam.
Right.
A Def Comedy Slam. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
All right. So I'm going to get Def with this is Leah Sublime by Aleister Crowley. It's long.
It's fucking long.
Leah sublime, goddess above me, snake of the slime, Aleister love me. Our master, the devil, prospers the revel. Tread with your foot, my heart till it hurt. Tread on it, put the smear of your dirt. On my love, on my shame, scribble your name. Straddle your beast, my masterful bitch. With the thighs of your greased, with the sweat of your itch, spit on me, scarlet, mouth of my harlot. Now in your wide, raw cunt,
yeah,
the
dude.
abyss, spend spouting the tide of your sizzling piss. In my mouth, oh my whore, let it pour, let it pour. You're stale like a mare, and fart as you stale.
Yes.
Through straggled wet hair, you spout like a whale. Splash manure and piss from the sewer, down to the quick with your tooth on my lip, and your hand on my prick with feverish grip. My life is it drinks. How your breath stinks. Your hand, oh unclean. Your hand that has wasted. Your love and obscene. Black masters that tasted. Your soul, it's your hand. Feel my prick stand. Your lifetimes from lewd, little girl to mature. Worn whore that is chewed. Your own pile of manure. Your hand was the key to, and now you freaked me to. Rub all the much on your cunt on me, Leah. Cunt let me suck all your glued gonorrhea. Cunt without end. Amen till you spend. Cunt, you have harbored all dirt and disease in your slimy, unbarbered, loose hole with its cheese and its and its monthlies and pox, your chewer of cocks, cunt you have sucked, up pricks you squirted, out fetuses fucked till bastards you blurted, out into space, spend on my face, rub all your gleed away and venom the arrow, may your pox eat away, me to the marrow, cunt you have got me, I love you to rot me, spend again, lash me, Leah one spasm. Scream to me, splash me, slime of the chasm, choke me with splith of your sow belly's filth, stab your demoniac, smile to my brain, soak me in cognac, cut in cocaine, sprawl on me, sit on my mouth, Leah, shit on me, slut, creamy the curds that drip from your gut, greasy the turds, dribble your dung on the tip of my tongue, churn on me, Leah, twist on your thighs, smear diarrhea into my eyes, smeared diarrhea into my eyes. That's what he just said. Splutter out shit from the bottomless pit. Turn to me, chew it. With me, Leah, whore, vomit, spew it, and lick it once more. We can make lust, drunk on disgust, spoil your gut, your asshole my lover, you bugger and slut, I know where to shove her. There she goes plumb, up the foul bitch's bum, sack full of skin and bone as I speak, I'll bugger your grin into a shriek. Bugger you slut, bugger you gut, wriggle you hog, wrench at the pain, wrench at it, drag it half out and suck it in, scream you hog, dirt you, I want it to hurt you, breast line a squirt from your cocksucker's hole, belch out the dirt from your syphilis soul, splutter foul words through the supper of turds, may the devil our lord your soul scribble over with sayings of order, call me your lover, slave of the gut, over the arse of the slut, call me your sewer of splith and snot, your fart sniffer, chewer of the shit in your slot, call me as you rave in the rape of your slave, fuck shit, let me come, Asteriel, fuck, I'll spend in your bum, shit, give me the muck, from the whores our slick dirt of the prick. Eat it, you sow. I'm your dog, fuck shit. Swallow it now, rest for a bit. Satan, you gave a crown to the slave. I am your fate on your belly above you. I swear it by Satan. Leah, I love you. I'm going insane. Do it again. 419, ho, represent.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, bro. God damn.
God
Fuck
damn,
yeah.
Joey, that was fucking really awesome.
That
That
was
was
ridiculous.
great, dude.
Wow. Little Aleister
yeah.
Crowley in the fucking poem Leah Sublime. So holy
Yeah, it's
shit.
cool to see parts of that. You got to hear the whole thing. It's so
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
crazy.
it's
Yeah, the
over
whole-
the
yeah.
top, man. It's over the top. And written in, I was at the 1920s, maybe.
yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, it's, pretty crazy. It would be 1904, so maybe it was earlier than that then. I don't remember the year that he wrote that. But 1904, Crowley comes up with his own religion, Thelema, and the book that would be like a Bible to that religion, the Book of the Law, and his infamous Gnostic Mass.
That's fucking weird.
I know that's some weird shit, and I've seen plenty of bands do stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
The famous quote from that book, "Do what thou willst shall be the whole of the law." And of course, that's kind of the saying from that book that
Just
a lot
do
of
what you
people
want,
talk about.
because Aleister did.
Yeah,
He
he's just
fucking
like whatever, like
do what I
complete
do.
anarchy. I'm not going to get into the book that specifically, but like I said, I read that he wrote it over a few days of being on a lot of drugs and doing lots of rituals, and he's of course
Pre-Stephen
claiming,
King.
yeah, that he's the ruler and all that. So a lot of these cults and people that make up these religions, they kind of become the focal point of it. And obviously for, the perks of being the guy in charge, right?
It's funny because, like, his persona, so he does that. He gets all fucked up and writes a book and fucking becomes cult classic or whatever.
Right.
But he's also fucking, like, in the preacher's fucking realm where he can get people to fucking follow him and all that shit.
Yeah, he learned it from his dad.
But it is, like Chris said, like, no lie, Stephen King, writing a book, Misery or whatever, fucking just
completely fucked up.
On cocaine, like,
oh yeah,
doing his own rituals and everything. Or Hunter S. Thompson writing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Right.
Like, it's all the same kind of shit.
It's true.
But because he had that following, it looked more of a religion almost.
Right.
From Crowley.
Kind of more ominous,
Right.
for sure. So he continues to travel the world. He does spend some time here in the U.S. He also spent time in Italy, where he used a house for just drunk and drug-induced orgies.
Fuck yeah, bro.
With animals and whatever is available.
If it's got a hole, fuck it.
Yeah, pretty fucking
We got pussy
crazy
for a penny.
shit. They're talking about goats, and it's fucked up. Now, this is how fucked up this dude was. Mussolini, and we know he was a fucked up individual, would find this stuff out that he did, this
Like,
depraved
yo,
shit.
you gotta get the fuck out my
Throws
country,
him
bro.
the fuck out of the country. Like, holy
get the
shit.
fuck going, dude.
Like, dude, you are too fucked up, man. Get out of here. And so he is fucking doing heroin, other hard drugs. He's a complete mess. He winds up buying this house in Loch Ness in Scotland.
He's like, oh, Italy's going to kick me out. Scotland will take me.
That's right. And he buys this house there where he does a 6-month-long ritual. He doesn't make it to the end because he's only eating bread and water while this is going on, Chris. And he's getting up at like 3 a.m. to start praying and doing these rituals. And he finally just says, fuck this.
I'm done.
I'm ordering
fucking
Domino's.
hungry, bro. Yeah, right.
I'm watching a fucking movie.
Fucking
Fuck
about
this.
to kill this goddamn sheep outside.
Right,
Fuck.
exactly. So he,
his whole dream
gives
was
up on
to find Loch Ness Monster and fuck it.
Yeah, he's all fucked up. I
Probably.
see it, bro. I see it.
Like,
I
I'm going
see
to fuck
it.
that thing one day. I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to watch for it. The best orgy of all time.
With Loch Ness.
So oddly, that house would later be purchased by Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page, who was really into Crowley, had a lot of Crowley stuff, and purchased the house. Now, drummer John Bonham died at Page's house, but it wasn't the house in Loch Ness,
Right.
because I had thought that that's where it was. I had heard he died in Aleister Crowley's old house that Jimmy Page owned, but that is not true.
They still said
so-
that there was like a whole fucking series of things after he bought the house, like
Yes.
tragedies within his life.
And a lot of people that bought the house, the
Right.
suicides there, a
Yeah.
lot of crazy stuff. And a lot of people claim it was haunted, so who knows, right? I do believe it wound up burning down, if I'm not
think
mistaken,
you're
in
right.
one of the incidents that happened there. Now, Chris, Crowley is starting to run out of a little bit of that inheritance. He's
You
spending
always
kind
do.
of crazy.
I mean, if the
Getting
shit he's
desperate.
Doing, fuck. Yeah, so sometimes you got to just be like, oh, I wrote this and people's making money off of it. So you can go sue them. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was one thing that he took
Yeah,
to
he
court.
did win a lawsuit.
He won
And
one
he also
lawsuit.
was just like, hey, if everybody thinks I'm fucked up and crazy, I might as well go with it.
Go with the part, yeah.
And he decides to finally start selling some of the Book of the Law and some other stuff.
Right.
And, might as well make some money doing that, because he was starting to run low on his inheritance money. So he knew a lot of famous people, but, the money starts to run out. That tends to kind of dry up. He goes to British Naval Intelligence to see if they want his services.
Don't you think that if he was already there as a spy, they might
That's
want
what I
his
thought
services?
too. That's why I thought that was maybe a
Like-
sign that was bullshit.
Come on.
But they decline. He also claims to have come up with the slogan "V is for victory" that the BBC came up with. And he's also, Chris, decides a good idea would be to get back on heroin
Obviously.
and develop a
That's
terrible
always the
case
best
of
idea.
asthma that's got him hospitalized for long stretches of time.
You know what the best cure for asthma is? Ask my dad. More heroin.
More heroin? Okay.
Morphine.
He publishes one final book on poetry. I can only wonder if it's Leah Sublime or not,
Right.
not that brutal. And a novel is published upon his death. So he was writing all the way up to the end. So he dies December of 1947. So again, like we pointed out, this is a figure that a lot of newer people probably don't know much about, other than maybe the name and maybe if they know about Ozzy and that famous song. But, you know, he dies in 47. So certainly before the modern age. I can only imagine if he were in that, you know, television era, that would have been probably a big, you know, interview to get, you know,
Right.
Aleister Crowley. You know,
It's
that would have
definitely
been
not
cool.
Victor Crowley either.
No. So he's 72 years old, though, chronic bronchitis. It's amazing, as tough as he was on his body, that he really made it that long, as fucked up as he was,
It's
all
from fucking
drugged out.
animals.
Yeah.
You got to hunch
Or
over.
getting fucked by animals. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
That shit keeps you young.
His remains were cremated and sent to the U.S. Apparently, his successor, a guy by the name of Karl Gemmer, in German, he's a German occultist. He buried them in his backyard. Apparently,
Cool.
his
like you get
influence
ghosts.
was huge on a number of people that are into the occult, magic, that sort of stuff. Many bands, like even the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, mentioned Led Zeppelin, and others, very influenced by him. Maybe not the whole band, but certain people in the band.
Well, and all of them were from fucking Europe, too.
Very true.
So
That's a good point.
yeah.
They're all English bands. That's a great point, Joey. I think that the dark mystique, you know, just seems to draw people to him. And I think a little more modern era would be the Anton LaVey thing.
Yeah,
that
I
was
agree.
very hip
I agree.
in Hollywood to go to a LaVey party.
Right.
You know, it was kind of cool. You know, you could say you were at Anton LaVey's Black Mass. You
Yeah.
know, that would be kind of cool.
That would have been fucking sweet.
Yeah. I wonder if he sold T-shirts or anything there. I mean, he should have.
Beer koozies.
Fucking right, bro.
Joey, CK's going to talk about the bands that were influenced by Aleister Crowley, but did you want to talk about other influences, maybe with movies or anything, books, or anything other than bands?
No, not at all. Actually, I wouldn't even think it. That is true that there were a lot of movies and books and shit. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about music. I do have some music that
Yeah,
was
go ahead.
influenced by him, but I'm not going to say it yet. I'm going to let CK do his thing in the
Oh,
mellow
and then you could
segment,
add in.
and then afterwards, like
Yeah, that's
whatever
a
he
good
doesn't
idea.
already mention. So, you listeners, you better just fucking keep listening.
Yeah, you
for
got
my
to keep
answer
listening.
here.
Right. And Chris, I don't know. I mean,
Like
here,
you said, dude, you could have fucking had 20 fucking bumper songs. Like,
easily.
There's so much.
I couldn't believe there were as many as there
Yeah.
was, honestly. Chris, I mean, I know we've been laughing about Crowley, but I mean, you see any credence to this whole British intelligence thing, or you think it was
No,
bullshit?
like after that, especially,
when the Navy turned him
yeah,
down?
like, dude, oh wait, you used to be a fucking spy. You're fucking
Right.
coming back.
Yeah, for
Why wouldn't we
MI6 or MI5, is it? Which of the two? Anyway, yeah, British intelligence, that's pretty serious stuff. So if he really was, you would think the Navy would have scooped him up, you know?
Yeah, instantly.
But who knows? Anything to add to this crazy one, guys, on Aleister Crowley?
I'm good on Crowley.
Two things I was going to say is that
Yeah.
one that I thought was cool is that Stevie Nicks, like, one of her favorite books was supposedly The Confessions of a Drug Fiend by Aleister Crowley.
Right.
So, like, I'm sure that if that's true, that a lot of her fucking lyrics and stuff probably came from that influence and stuff. So
Yeah, I
Stevie
never heard of
Nicks.
that before.
And
That's
then
interesting.
something else that was pretty cool, but Aleister Crowley, in 1913, he wrote Magic, CK. Magic
Right, with the CK.
Book 4. And back then in 1913, he was advocating for adding backmasked messages to records. So subliminal messages in his music, or, his fucking poetry or whatever he was doing on record then. But yeah, fucking, he was like one of the first ones to come up with doing
Backwards
subliminal
messages.
messages.
Interesting.
And shit. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
I didn't
fucking
know.
crazy.
That is fucking crazy. Very, very cool. Well, I did my research with a few good documentaries on him I watched on YouTube. I also listened to the last podcast on the left, and they did a good one on him. Of course, Henry's like all about the Book of the Law, and he gets really deep in that. So if you're interested in that part of it, I would strongly suggest going to listen to their episode on it. Also, another good podcast I liked was Profiles in Eccentricity. Was very good. They were actually really funny, but they did a good job at telling the facts and telling the story, but mixing in fun. So if you've never heard those guys before, go check them out. I actually thought that was a really good podcast. I have a hard time taking a lot of the stuff he did seriously. It seems like some of it's so over the top, but who knows? And he was definitely very interesting and obviously doing what the fuck he wanted. He was rich. He had all this money, and he obviously lived a very full life. He died at 72 and was going pretty hardcore.
Sounds like he had a fucking fun life, but I mean, still.
Yeah, definitely out there. So, yeah, go check that out. Now, next week, we've got our episode, Chris, we're going to do on a little upcoming, like a preview of the Dark History and Horror Convention.
Yep.
That's coming up Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. That's in Champaign. The Champaign, Illinois. It's the iHeart, I think. But we'll have the link in the episode description for the page on the Dark History and Horror Convention. But it's in Champaign. It's at the I Hotel. That's what it is in Champaign. Saturday, October 23rd from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., I will be there. I'm going to be flying solo because, Chris, you got a wedding, and Joey, unfortunately, you got to work.
Fuck yeah.
So my son Joe is going to go with me.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and hang out and go see Jeff Gaither and John Borowski and a lot of people that are, I think Steve Gianangelo is going to be there. So there'll be a lot of cool people that we know, and I'm sure a lot of people we don't know. I'm hoping Donnie Weimer's there, hoping that he's there.
He always has that
I think
good
he
shit.
will be. Yeah, Donnie's fucking awesome. He's traveling all over the country doing
Conventions.
Yeah, he's all over it. So he's a good dude. There'll be a lot of good ones there. And so we're going to have the man behind it all. Brian Ward is going to be coming in here. We've had him in here before. And Brian's going to talk about the Dark History Convention.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to do that in the murder segment next week, but we'll do a regular show around it, but we'll just have Brian in for that. So that should be good. Joey, you said you had a stack of page-a-days.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're kind of running a little early, which is good.
We are.
Because, man, a lot of times I'll go through these and it's like, okay, I'll pick like a couple, 3 stories that are really good. But
Right.
for whatever reason, there was some that drew me to almost all. And it's been 2 weeks too because we did the bonus episode last week. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it. Page a day. Fucking been doing this shit almost a year. It's crazy.
That's
page
fucked up, dude.
But yeah, so they had some really good stories this week. So I'm going to fucking talk about them. Now, first I'm going to talk about is the Whitworth Gallery almost heist.
Okay.
Almost heist.
Almost heist. This one was an interesting
Feathers.
one. So it's not feathers, but it's kind of like, Anyway, on April 25th, 2003, so 3 works of art, one by Van Gogh, one by Picasso, one by Gauguin, worth about $8 million, disappeared from the Whitworth Art Gallery in Manchester, England. And within a day, police investigating the heist receive an anonymous tip to check a disused public bathroom near the gallery. So they go there, they find all 3 paintings inside a cardboard tube. And on the tube, they fucking wrote what their motive was for the crime. And it wasn't for fucking fame, fortune, nothing like that. They simply wanted to highlight the poor security at the museum. And the fucking paintings were returned safely a few blocks away. There were no thieves ever caught.
Oh,
The
wow.
fuck out of here.
But it's like, hey, your security fucking
That's crazy,
sucks. Do
right?
something about it. And they fucking stole them just to prove that shit. Crazy
Wow.
as fuck.
Wow,
That's
that's
fucked
fucking
up.
great, dude.
That's a
It's
good
like,
one.
No, I care about these paintings for
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
Like, fix your fucking shit.
Hell yeah.
Right?
All right, so another one they're talking about. Okay, so everybody knows what DNA is and fucking how big of science that was and everything else. Well, sometimes science fucking gets disproven and shit, and this is what they're talking about: hair analysis and how it was debunked. So hair analysis is, the science of comparing hair samples under a microscope to determine if they match someone.
Right.
It was popularized by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes series back in the day. So it kind of reminds me of what the fuck's his name? Fucking Scientology. Fucking
L. Ron Hubbard.
It reminds me of him. He wrote this fucking
And
book.
Crowley was a big L. Ron Hubbard guy too,
Right.
which is interesting.
So anyway,
Yeah.
this is what the hair analysis basically was, is they took it as science, but it was fucking Sherlock Holmes. Fucking, it was from the books. But anyway, so doubts about its accuracy began to surface in the 70s. And in 84, they finally said, look, we can't just match fucking hair samples and
Right.
whatever. So they start to review cases where the hair analysis had been used, and a study of cases between 96 and 2000 found that 11% of hair analysis cases were contradicted by DNA. So that's a pretty big fucking
That's a
Wow.
huge
chunk of
yeah,
it.
that's
That
a
is.
huge-
So now all these defense attorneys are fucking pissed, and they're fucking bringing
Right.
shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, flashing it on TV. Hey, if you were accused of hair analysis,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Call me.
Right, exactly. So basically, it was called the faulty science, used to convict fucking their clients. And after they did further studies, the FBI, they said 21,000 cases were reviewed in July 2013, and they had found 32 death penalty cases where the FBI had overstated the reliability of the hair analysis, and 14 of those had been executed or had died
No
in prison.
shit.
And-
Wow.
and fucking, that's
Jesus.
a pretty big fucking chunk.
That's fucked
Yeah.
up.
And a separate study by the Department of Justice reviewed 268 trials and found that experts had exaggerated the accuracy of the hair analysis in 95% of the total cases.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I had heard that the hair thing was really,
Yeah.
really very unreliable.
and now it's, like I said, it's debunked now. It's not fucking valid. But
right.
that was something that people took as science.
Oh,
And were
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, we're fucking high
Yeah,
tech
we got
now.
you, yeah.
Right. So, anyway.
I remember them watching that shit like back in the day when they're putting, you see the hair.
Oh,
under the
yeah, they
microscope.
line 'em up.
They're doing
It's
it
like,
like
oh,
the
it's the
fucking, like
same.
they do bullets and shit. For,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, ballistics. Like,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, very much.
All right, this is another one that's pretty fucking. This is a pretty recent one. So this bitch named Marilyn Hartman. She's this old lady. She's a grandmotherly figure. Fucking yeah. She's stowed away on at least 20 commercial airlines. She's a serial stowaway. right.
Wow.
So her arrest record for stowing goes back to 2009.
Damn.
But she made international headlines in 2018 after a flight from Chicago O'Hare to London and fucking to Heathrow in London.
Wow.
The 66-year-old failed to board a flight in Connecticut the day before, but she manages to slip past security and ticket agents and make it to London before she's turned away at customs because she doesn't have a passport.
Wow.
So she's arrested and charged with felony theft for traveling on a flight that was about a $2,500 ticket that she basically stole.
Right.
So she's released on her own recognizance, but she's banned from O'Hare and ordered to undergo psychiatric eval. 2 weeks later, police were called because she caused a disturbance trying to board a flight at O'Hare headed to New York.
Oh my God.
She had a ticket this time, but was arrested again for criminal trespassing and violating a bail bond. So yeah, Marilyn Hartman, the serial
Wow.
stowaway.
Damn.
That's fucking
That's a
good.
good one. Might have to do that one.
I know, right? All right, so November 17th of 94, a 23-year-old girl, Lisa Stowaway agent, she goes and sees Interview with a Vampire with a Boyfriend, Danielle Sterling, who was 25. When she woke up the next morning, she found her boyfriend staring at her. When she asked what was wrong, he goes, "I'm going to kill you and drink your blood." Later that night, he attempted to do that. He stabbed her 9 times and drank her blood for several minutes. She was able to get away and she survived the attack.
Oh my God.
He was found guilty of attempted first murder, aggravated mayhem, battery, assault, domestic violence. And then they tried to say he was mentally ill and highly suggestible, but they said nope. And he was sentenced to life in prison.
All because he watched Interview with the Vampire.
Right. So now,
goddamn,
that kind of segued into this one, and they were talking about fucking crimes that occurred after people had been influenced by movies. And so they were talking about Thierry Jaredin, who was influenced by the movie Scream, and he wore a Scream mask when he killed his neighbor for rejecting his advances.
I think I remember hearing about that, actually, dude.
They're talking about Robert Thompson and Jen Venables, which those were 2 kids. There were 2 10-year-olds who stabbed and killed 2-year-old James Bulger. And supposedly they had watched Child's Play 3 before they did that. Daniel Sterling, that's exactly who we were just talking about, Interview with the Vampire, who tried to stab his girlfriend Lisa Stellwig.
Right.
And then Nathaniel White, he killed 6 women in the early 90s, and he claimed his first murder was inspired by the movie RoboCop 2. So RoboCop 2 fucking getting people hyped up. And then the last one they brought up, which is one that we keep bringing up lately, and that's John Hinckley Jr. And of course, whenever he tried to assassinate Reagan for Jodie Foster, his influence was Taxi Driver.
Right.
Yeah, and as I mentioned in our pre-show meeting, the Hinckley thing, I was in high school quite a few years ago, and a talent show, and some friends of mine that were into like punk had a band. I think it was a 3-piece, and they wore white T-shirts. They were called the Hinkleys. That's
so good.
And it said the Hinkleys like written in a Sharpie across the chest.
Right.
And then I think it was the left side, there was like a big red blood stain where Reagan would have got shot.
That's fucking so fucking.
And they were called the Hinkleys, and it was like hardcore punk, and they were in this talent show. Yeah, it was fucking like, wow, because it had just happened. Yeah. So it was like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. And, back then, that was not so much a thing you'd see kids do. Right. So it was pretty crazy.
Dude, the one you were reading, though, the Bulger kid.
Yeah.
Was that the kid the 2 kids took from the mall and shit?
Yeah.
Dude,
oh, yeah, that's a terrible one.
Yeah, that shit's fucked,
No, that's
man.
a fucked up case.
Yeah, that would definitely be one we need to do.
All right, I got a few more.
Okay.
Still going page a day.
Page a day.
So, Jigsaw John.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Jigsaw John.
And that is John P. St. John, and he got his name Jigsaw John early in his 51-year tenure as an LAPD homicide detective after solving a case in which the victim had been dismembered. Now, his nickname stuck because he had a knack for piecing clues together, and he fucking solved, like, really hard cases, I guess.
Right.
But he solved more than 2/3 of the 1,000 cases he worked on, which that's fucking really good for him.
That's a huge number, yeah.
Especially in a place like fucking LA,
Right.
But his case history reads like a who's who of the golden age of serial killers, though, because he worked on the Black Dahlia murder, Harvey Glattman, who's the Lonely Hearts Killer.
Oh, yeah.
He worked on the Ramirez Night Stalker case. He worked on the Hillside Stranglers case, and he worked on the Grim Sleeper.
Oh, wow.
And one of his other legendary cases was William Bond and the Freeway Killer.
Goddamn,
And
dude.
following a tip, Jigsaw John, him and his team tracked him down and caught him in his van about to kill a victim.
Wow.
And saved that one.
Damn.
So his legendary career was turned into a book in the 1976 TV series Jigsaw John. He retired from the LAPD in 93 and he died in 95. But,
wow. Jigsaw John.
Man, that's a boss, though.
I know.
Right there,
I'm going to try to get his book, I think.
I'm going to look for it right now.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So I got 2 more, and both of these were a little more fucking lighthearted, so I thought that was good to fucking take it out. And one of them is the one that I had actually talked about before. But so the first one is we're going down to Wichita Falls, Texas. Fucking outside of Dallas, like north side fucking part of Texas. And in 2019, police responded to a report of a suspicious person in the parking lot of a Walmart in the small city. and the woman had been drinking wine from a Pringles can and riding an and riding an electric cart around the parking lot for 3 hours by the time the cops showed up.
Oh my God.
They found her in a nearby restaurant, told her not to go back to the store. And then July of the same year, police banned another woman from a different Wichita Falls Walmart after an argument with employees over a half-eaten cake. According to the employees, the woman had eaten half the cake to herself and refused to pay for it, insisting she found it that way. So
Wow.
neither women were arrested, their names not released, but Wichita Falls Walmart's, man.
Dude. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Drinking wine out of a Pringles can.
That's fucked up.
All right, so this is the last one. Thanks again, Page a Day. Like I
Oh
said, it was a
my
long
God,
one,
dude.
but it was a good day for it. This is the last one, but I brought this up on a different Page a Day. I know I did because I remember this story. But I think they were talking about shit that happens in Florida because Florida's so fucked up.
Right.
So Josh James, he likes good pranks. And on October 11, 2016, he thought he'd pull a prank whenever he threw a 3.5-foot American alligator through the drive-through window at a Florida Wendy's.
I remember seeing that video,
Oh
dude.
man.
He was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, unlawful sale, possession, or transporting of an alligator, and petty theft. At his
seeing
arraignment, a judge ordered him to stay away from all Wendy's restaurants, avoid possessing any weapons, and get a mental health eval. He also said that he
Jesus.
must limit his interaction with animals to only his mother's dog. The alligators captured it and they fucking taped its mouth, temporarily, and then they
Right,
released
right.
it in a nearby canal. But yeah, I remember that
Dude,
motherfucker
I
threw the
remember
fucking
seeing-
gator through the drive-thru. All right,
She's
so that was
hanging out with
Page
that
Day.
lady with the Pringles can, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
the
fuck
fucking
yeah.
drinking wine out the Pringles can, though. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's classic, man. Wow, Page a Day.
Hell yeah.
Unbelievable. I was looking at that Jigsaw John book.
Yeah.
Pretty steep.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
rare. It's
yeah.
like $70 I saw on
You have to see if
the
it's
one
on fucking,
Amazon. Amazon didn't sell it directly. It was through a third party.
Yeah.
But then I went on eBay and didn't even find it. So it's old.
You have to see if it's on Audible or something.
Yeah,
So you can
that's a
at least
good
hear
one.
it
Yeah,
or
that's a
not.
good point. So it's out there though. Al Martinez is the author.
Hell yeah.
Jigsaw John. So definitely interesting. I'd love to read that.
That
book.
I mean,
That
that's
sounds
fucking
really cool.
kind of crazy to me that I've never even
That's
heard
amazing.
of that guy.
Yeah,
with
that
the
guy.
cases he worked
That's
on.
a lot of
That's
fucking
a lot of fucking
big
high
known
star
yeah
fucking killers
from
dude.
Black Dahlia up to the Grim Sleeper. That's
Yeah.
a pretty long span of time
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Holy shit!
Which that book, and they said the movie or whatever the series is based off
Yeah.
of, that was back in '76, so he did a bunch of shit even after that too.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, well, I think we've done our fair share of craziness tonight in our murder segment. So I hear that familiar music, CK, getting ready to throw the fuck down. So Joey, what the hell do we need to do?
Lang a lang, dang a dang a long, ling long. Let's get our murder on. No, let's get our metal on.
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and murder metal mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wildman Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization, the one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Kovacs!
Up there he is off
Fuck
that
yeah, what up?
920. CK, what's up, dude?
Going on, people?
Throwing down in metal, and that's why we got you here, CK. Good to have you on with us. And we've been talking about Aleister Crowley here, getting all crazy. Joey read some nice loves poem. And and so we've got you on to continue the discussion about Aleister Crowley, doing something a little different this week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about bands who were influenced by Crowley, and not necessarily all metal bands.
Oh no, there was plenty of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's plenty, but I'm just gonna hit a couple of bands that are non-metal that people may not know that they may have a little influence on them.
Sixpence None the Richer.
Oh God,
I had a list of fucking bands about Crowley because Pete asked me that question earlier, but I told him I was going to wait to get my answer because I'm going to let you talk, and then any that I have that you didn't say, then I'll say.
Yeah, Joey's got a
Where they-
list.
But I didn't see them. I didn't see them anywhere I looked.
Right. So what do you got for us, CK?
Okay. Well, I was going to go with the one who I think everybody knows is first, but I'll wait.
we may have played the song already in this episode.
Very much so.
Oh, yeah, depending on who you're talking about.
Right.
But yeah, the obvious one.
So I'm going to start with somebody not as obvious.
Okay.
The Beatles.
Hell yeah.
Believe it or not, on their Sgt. Pepper's album, one of the images on that album is Aleister Crowley.
Hell yeah.
Right.
And I don't know how they didn't nobody vetoed that at the record company, because they did Adolf Hitler. They had Adolf Hitler on it too.
They took him out.
And, yeah, and they he got thrown out. But John Lennon suggested that he go on the album cover, and so he did. And at that time, I don't think anybody even know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, he died in 1947, so he had been dead,
Yeah.
20 years?
But I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Right.
To tell the truth.
Plus, the bands we were talking about earlier are all British bands, too, which makes sense with Crowley being from England. So.
Man, now that I'm thinking about it, because Macabre did the fucking Sinister Slaughter cover that was like a parody of the Sgt. Pepper's. Now I need to go look at that to see if Crowley's just
on
Crowley.
there.
That would be hilarious if he was in the same spot.
That would be funny.
Oh yeah, it probably would be.
Yeah.
Actually, believe it or not, Iron Maiden.
Hell yeah.
Another British band or English band. Yeah.
Right.
Revelations gives a shout out to Crowley from the Number of the Beast album.
And Moonchild is about Crowley.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Moonchild as well. And not only that, but Bruce Dickinson's Chemical Wedding was slightly based on Crowley stuff.
The
And
wedding.
she's what? What'd you say, Chris?
I think Chris just
I
says
was
what you
just
had
asking-
said.
yeah, I
Bruce
didn't hear what you
Dickinson's
said, yeah.
solo album.
Yeah, Chemical Wedding
Right.
Oh, right on. Okay.
was loosely based on stuff from Crowley. And he also mentions him in his autobiography, What Does This Button Do? It's another band I had no clue who was influenced by Crowley. Probably another one that people didn't know was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Blood
Okay.
Sugar Sex Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic. John Frusciante had a interest in Crowley, and a little bit more than the other band, but he was a really big reader on Crowley, and on his solo album he had a couple songs that pertained to Crowley, and obviously the title for the Blood Sugar Sex Magic, a shout out to Crowley as well.
For sure.
Right.
Then now you're getting towards the big guns. Not that Iron Maiden is huge, but
Right.
obviously Ozzy.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
The first album, song Mr. Crowley. I think that was the first time I was ever
Yeah, I'd never heard of him before that.
used to him, until I heard that song.
Right.
And but I don't think his knowledge and his belief in him was that deep. I think it was just
His lore.
yeah. So I don't think it was anything, major. It's just something he was interested in and wanted to write a song about it. And
He was very charismatic. He had a way, like Joey was saying in the murder
Yeah.
segment, about to keep like a following.
Yeah. And
he was
once,
really good at that.
once again, Ozzy, fucking European, like
Right, British. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy.
except for Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're all British.
yeah,
Yeah, we talked about Jimmy Page buying the house in Loch Ness, which I know you and CK were talking about John Bonham, but we mentioned that he died in Jimmy Page's house, but not that house. It was a different house. But
Yeah, but which segues to obviously Led Zeppelin.
right,
More Page than Zeppelin.
right,
Page was heavily into Crowley in the 70s to where he bought his mansion. Huge interest in the occult. Opened up a bookstore. And then stocking with many books about Crowley.
right.
So he was like, hardcore.
hell yeah,
Bro, I don't think he is now as much as back then. But if you ever get a chance to see Led Zeppelin 3, where the album runs out at the end, you'll see a message that says, "Do what thou wilt," which is obviously a Crowley sentiment.
Obviously, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
From the Book
So,
of the Law.
Yeah, so he was like, and after he bought the house, there was a lot of tragedies that happened after.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Plant was in a bad car accident with his family, which will segue into my Lost Classic in a minute. Obviously, Bonham didn't die in the house; he still passed away.
Right.
Just a lot of stuff, fucked up stuff happening.
Yeah, even outside of them too, like people that owned the house, like there were
Yeah.
suicides there. There was all sorts of
It was fucked
bad
up.
shit there, and it burned down too.
right.
And like I said, Page is probably the biggest one out of anybody who
He bought his fucking house.
was in.
Right. Yeah, millions of dollars.
Like,
I don't know
man,
how much
yeah,
he spent.
you fucking love Crowley,
Right.
You
Yeah,
fucking
for
love
sure.
his
But he's making that kind of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like fuck,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
probably like buying
Yeah,
a
he-
lottery ticket.
Afford it.
Cool, I got this. I'm fucking.
But
Like buying a
Do whatever.
Pringles can full of wine, right,
Yeah.
Chris? And the page a day, CK. You'll have to hear that one. Some crazy bitch drinking wine out of a Pringles can. So,
God.
oh, it's special.
But I don't think he's as big as he is into it now. These days,
right.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything modern for sure.
I think he just it was a phase with him, and maybe a little bit of an interest, but not much. And that's pretty much what I got.
That's
As far-
cool.
I mean, there's a hell of a lot more.
Oh, there's a ton of it, dude.
I'm gonna mention some
Joey,
of
what's
mine.
some that you had?
Just a handful more because, between what we talked about and fucking CK, we've talked on a lot of them. But I'm a big Ministry fan, and on the Land of Rape and Honey, they did the song "Golden Dawn," which
Yep.
that was about fucking Aleister.
Right.
One that I can't believe. Well, one that's going to be the bumper music coming into this next segment is Behemoth. So I'll let that play. But Behemoth did, "O Father, O Say No Son."
Oh yeah.
About that too.
And this is one that I can't believe, CK, you didn't say. I just thought you would say this for sure. Exhorter the Law, like that song.
Yeah, that was one I almost played.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But that was definitely like the Law is fucking Crowley
Right.
shit. David Bowie did Quicksand, which he fucking
Right.
he fucking straight up talked about Crowley.
Right.
Like, yeah, that wasn't even like subtle at all. Like he was
No,
straight.
Right.
straight up. This is what
Right.
I'm talking about.
The fucking brutal ass band Samael, they did the song Crown about him.
Yeah.
Merciful Fate did Desecration of Souls.
Yeah, and that's one I'm playing.
And you know, fucking King Diamond said that he never paid any attention to any kind of studies about Crowley. Like he wasn't into him, but he still used, you know, the Thelema, is that or the
Yeah.
Right.
so
Thelma.
he obviously had
It's
a
Thelma,
little
dude.
bit in it, but,
Thelma.
but he always openly said he wasn't a big like follower of
Right.
Crowley, I guess.
Right.
Two more that I had, one for Pete, and then I got one for fucking Michael Schaubeck, who's not here. But Vital Remains, they did Immortal Crusade, and that band's fucking badass.
Very.
And then for Michael Schaubeck, and the last one I had, Marilyn Manson did Misery Machine on the
Right.
first album, which was all about Crowley too. So
Oh, okay.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I read about all those too. And the funny thing is that the album that Quicksand is from is probably my favorite Bowie album. of all
Yeah,
time.
hell yeah.
That's
Hunky
cool.
Dory.
Yep, hunky dory.
All right. Well, CK, you got a good lost classic for us. I always like this album.
I love this album. Yeah.
This is my favorite Zeppelin album. A lot of people don't really give it any attention, but fucking Led Zeppelin Presence,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
recorded in 18 days after Jim Page, Robert Plant had his accident, singing from a wheelchair with his leg up in the air, and it just slams with Achilles' Last Stand.
Yeah, I love Achilles' Last Stand. That's amazing.
Just, oh my God, the best opening song in any album I ever heard,
Yeah.
and it's just 9 minutes of just kicking ass.
For sure, dude. It's
And,
like you said, it's one people typically wouldn't name, but I always thought it was fucking solid
Oh,
as fuck.
it's-
Hell yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah. Very cool.
And
All right.
not one bad song on it.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you what, talking about no bad songs, we got some good ones to talk about tonight. Gonna play some 6-6 fucking
It's
6.
all about Europe tonight.
You know it.
You're
All right, some onslaught. 6-6 fucking 6. Gonna talk about what kind of shit we've been listening to lately. Joey, why don't you start us off tonight? What have you been listening to over there?
Fucking listen to my teeth decay over these Pop-Tarts we keep eating. I got a Pop-Tart in my tooth. Like,
Wow, yeah, thanks to Stephanie
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Toledo 419. Thank you.
I don't know why we just eat Pop-Tarts now, but that's something we
It
just
just
started
started
doing,
it.
and
It
we've
just
been
happened.
doing it, so
It just feels right.
send us Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745.
Or join
Send it
the
to Murder
fucking
Metal Mayhem.
666 Club, and we'll fucking put your proceeds towards Pop-Tarts.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But anyway, I listening to, I don't know, I was listening to fucking a couple live albums. I was listening to Aerosmith Live Bootleg, which that's a fucking awesome like live album. What's that, CK?
It's an awesome album.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was listening to that, and I was also listening to the Anthrax "I'm the Man," which has some fucking live fucking recordings on there. Some of the songs, which include the Sabbath "Bloody Sabbath" too, which I fucking
Oh,
love.
fuck
That
yeah.
cover.
That's a good one.
Loved it.
Then something else. Fucking haven't jammed it yet. Fucking, I've heard some of the digital, but I do have the CD in my hand thanks to
Yeah.
Michael. But our buddy Alex from Crotch Trooper, he fucking has his label Troll Tracks, and they dropped this Cranial Decay fucking album. So if anybody's fucking wanting to hear some new shit from out of the Midwest,
Nice.
fucking grab that Cranial Decay.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Chris, what about you, dude?
I don't know, whatever's playing on the weekends. And lately during the week I've been listening to fucking audiobooks.
Okay.
Like as far as music, it's just like whatever's there. And
Whatever happens to be on, you're
Yeah.
listening to it. That's all
at
right.
work, I've just been stuck on a couple audiobooks just because it's a 3-part series and I'm on the 3rd book and I'm like, I gotta finish this shit.
That's cool. That's cool. Very cool. What's it called?
It's the Passage series. The first book's The Passage, and then Second book's the 12, and the third book is City of Mirrors. But
Very
I've listened to it before, but once I get stuck on it, I'm like, fuck.
You want to listen to it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. CK, what about you over there on Wildman Street in Danbury? What are you listening to?
The new KK's Priest.
Yep.
Loving that. Carcass.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
You know, probably every time I listen to music, I play that first.
Yeah.
Still New Maiden. And I popped on Zeppelin Presence the other day.
Hell yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I've been listening to that Carcass as well. It hasn't left my CD player, but I had something I needed to do today, and I didn't have the CD in there. And I wound up listening to some Angelus Apatrida. Just fucking, man, those guys are so good. Last several albums just rip. So go give them a listen if you're not familiar with them. Just great band from Spain. We've had them on the show, and really cool guys. So they sing in English, though, but the band name can sometimes mislead,
Right.
but really cool. All right, the 666 Club is Patreon supporters, so thanks to all of you that are part of that. And that's how we buy some Pop-Tarts, Joey, right? Pay
Tell
some
me,
bills.
If any of
Pay
y'all
some
join the
bills.
666 Club,
That's
I will
right.
go buy the Pop-Tarts
$3
in your name.
$3
We
a
will
month.
fucking talk about
Yeah, you
it.
could like sponsor that box.
Fuck yeah,
Like,
they'll
we'll
be
talk
like,
about
this is
you.
your box.
This
That's right.
box brought
to you by
Yeah.
Brad, you know, or
Right.
Tommy or whatever. Yeah. So that's a great suggestion.
You can
so
even
follow.
tell us. You can even tell what flavors to get too.
That's right.
We had
Yeah.
Chrissy Graham win a fucking contest earlier.
Right.
So now, like, this is a different kind of
Yeah.
contest. Like,
Yeah.
join our Patreon. You get the fucking benefits. You
Right.
get the fucking 10% off the merch. You get,
Shout out, give us a plug for you.
yeah.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
You got a band or something going
yeah,
on,
or
like, shout
a
out this
business,
brother, you
whatever.
check out-
Yeah,
fucking get it.
exactly. So also we'll have in the episode description how to buy one of our shirts. I'll have them at the Dark History Convention, but for those of you that aren't in Central Illinois, you can get them with the link, and you can buy a shirt directly from us.
Not with the link card.
That's right. That's right. Well, we got those Jeff Gaither shirts, guys. The zombie shirt, perfect for this time of year. And you can get one and send you a couple stickers too. The stickers are fucking amazing.
Get
The
one
die
for your
cut.
grandma.
That's right. That's right.
Your grandma.
So anyway, we've done plenty of metal tonight. So CK, what the fuck do we need to do?
We got to get our Mayhem. Oh,
Uh-oh. CK smoking it up over there in Danbury.
Shit.
we have to get our Mayhem on.
Hell yeah, we do.
Are you looking for a new hobby? Well, look no more. Our Feather a Month Club is just what you need in your life. We'll send you a handful of rare bird feathers every month, and you can make intricate fly fishing lures with them.
I joined the Feather of the Month Club, and I got tickets to a heavy metal flute concert. It was bitchin'.
That's right. You can make fishing lures while you jam to heavy metal songs done on a flute. How cool is that? Call us today at 800-FEATHER-THIEF and start a subscription for only $6.66 a month to bring the world's rarest feathers in your life.
Thanks, Feather a Month Club. Oh my God, Feather of the Month Club, Joey. That's where I was thinking of the English accent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
shit.
what must have prompted it because
Right.
I pulled this one out. Wow, that was earlier this year. Feather
Edwin
of the
Wrist
Month
days.
Club.
Oh my
Man,
God, dude.
you know the Feather Thief is picking up steam to enter the top 10 most listened to.
For real.
Yeah,
Bro,
the
what-
Feather Thief, man. How crazy is that? Something funny like that.
People are
That was
stoked.
great. All right, and before that, of course, Behemoth, fucking
Yes.
nasty. Oh Father, Oh Satan, Oh Son.
Fucking Behemoth.
Another
man.
band that's, all about Crowley and black magic, the occult, stuff like that. So, like we said, there's so many of them we could have played.
Fuck yeah.
But, all right, well, we are in Mayhem now. We still got CK here with us, and he's over there on Wild Man Street.
Oh yeah.
And CK, always good to have you
Fuck
here.
yeah, is
And we got 3 Mayhem stories for you tonight. And Joey, you said you were going to go first, so why don't you start?
Mine's just kind of like an update-ish. So some of our listeners are definitely going to know who I'm talking about. Other ones, you might not know everything, so go back and listen to the past episodes. I don't even know when, but so I changed jobs like recently.
Oh no!
So like,
no,
I work for the same company, but I changed stores basically.
Right.
But it's a different entity, but it's still same corporation. So I still work for the same corporation, whatnot. Anyhow, I fucking made the move. It was like fucking kind of like abrupt and kind of fucking fucked my life up for a second, but it's all right now. But I think it was a good move. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm working, and I think it's like my second day that I'm there. And one of the other coordinators comes up to me and she's like, "So, do you know so and so and this name?" And I was like, "Who are you talking about?" And they were
Neck
like,
tattoo.
Neck tattoo.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
nice.
neck tattoo. If y'all don't know the neck tattoo story, you got to go back and listen.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's
this
a
is
good
a
one.
customer with my company who has been harassing me and numerous other people. But since I switched to this other store, I had a feeling that I was going to see her or whatnot. But I was walking into fucking work the other day and fucking like one of the first days I was there and I saw her and her kid coming up behind me.
Oh,
and
no.
the doors weren't open yet, you know what I'm saying? So I had to buzz myself in. So I'm like, let me in. I don't want to get stuck, you know what I'm saying? And so whatnot. But yeah, then the fucking coordinator comes up to me and they're like, "Do you know so-and-so?" And I was like, "Oh, neck tattoo?" They were like, "Yeah." She said that you collect the Ray Dunn stuff, which is the problematic, you know what I'm saying, pieces, that you buy it and you're the one collecting it. And I was like, holy shit, I went through that same shit
Oh my
at
God.
the other store. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally just went through this and it's just fucking horseshit. I was like, I've never bought a piece of that shit in my life. And fucking, I couldn't believe, like, it took her that long to fucking try to fuck with me at my job.
Like 2 days.
So I bring it up and like the fucking manager of the store and everything else is like, "Oh, don't worry. She's trying to pull that on me too." So like they definitely know what's going on over there with her. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
It's all the
Wow.
same fucking shit. So it's like, okay, well at least you already know. But so then he was like, "Oh yeah." The fucking store manager was like, "Yeah, she tried to get me in trouble one time saying I didn't say hi to her or something and call corporate," you know what I'm saying? Because she's got that corporate on speed dial.
Oh, yeah.
my
And fucking
God.
neck tattoo, you know, and fucking so I was like, fuck. So the next time I see her, okay, no. So I said the next time I see her, I don't fucking say nothing to her, but she's like a little bit away from me. She comes walking up like out of her fucking way to come see me with this fucking glass pumpkin thing that fucking doesn't have a tag on it. And she was like, "Oh, this doesn't have a tag. I just wanted you to know that." And fucking hands it to me like, you didn't have to come fucking walk over to me and hand that to me. Plus, it wasn't a piece of Ray Dunn. Why are you even looking at it anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what you want anyway. You're
Right,
just
right.
over here. And then fucking one of the other workers is like, "Oh, she probably fucking took the tag off herself," you know?
Wow.
But so.
At least they know, dude.
Right. But so she did that. So then I was thinking, I was like, but if I ignore her totally, she's going to use that against me. So then the fucking, like yesterday or something, she was in there and fucking, I seen her and I fucking made it a point to fucking say hi. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, 2 seconds later, she comes over like, "Oh, so why'd you leave the other store?" And she starts fucking talking to me like we're fucking homies and shit.
Oh,
and I'm
boy.
just like, this is the last thing I fucking want.
Right.
Right.
I don't
So,
want
neck
so
nothing to
anyway,
do
so
with this
anybody
shit,
that's
bro.
been listening to the podcast and knows the
Neck
neck tattoo,
tattoo.
she's back in my fucking shit again
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
So, oh.
Wow.
Damn.
What?
That's fucked up. Well, CK, you said you had a little mayhem story for us.
Yeah. A couple years ago, I was at work, and one of my associates walks into the office and talking about something. He's getting ready to leave the office. And I look. I go, dude, do you have a perspiration problem?
Oh, yeah?
No, not really. I go, your back looks like it's like wet.
Like Randy from the Trailer Park Boys with his
No,
belly
sure.
all wet.
All greasy and
It's
shit.
gross. So I'm like,
Oh man.
here's another shirt. Going back to wash up and first I go, just lift up your shirt for a minute.
Go wash your back. Go wash your back and come back to work.
I'm looking and it's like
Wash.
looks like it's like blood.
The fuck?
Oh my God.
Like cunt blood?
Wow.
No.
Like Aleister Crowley blood.
And I'm looking, I'm like, did you scratch yourself on something? He goes, yeah, I had an itch and I had a zit in my back, so I
Oh my God.
I go, dude, that doesn't look like fuck.
Wow. That's a pretty big zit.
Seriously,
Jesus.
you gotta go home
Yeah, that sounds gnarly, man.
and you gotta take a
Got a
good shower.
pus and blood-filled shirt on at work. You're wrong.
So I go, you should actually go get it checked out.
Right?
I go, 'cause that doesn't look right. I go, if you have an infection or anything, I can't have you working around food. So he goes home, takes a shower, goes to the hospital, comes back with a note. He goes, yeah, I'm out of work for a couple days.
Oh my
Fuck,
God.
bro.
It wasn't a zit. It was a big boil.
Yeah.
Oh, I just ripped it
Pretty top.
open.
Yeah. Like
It was
Lenny
fun.
with the cunt on his back, man. That's what it looked like after he got it cleaned out. It looked like a fucking vagina
like-
on his back. It was hilarious.
He goes, yeah, it's affected. I said,
Yeah.
okay,
You think?
well, fucking don't want you here if it's affected.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
that was mine.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty fucking gross.
Well, I have an interesting one. I thought I had told this before. If I have, it's probably been a very early episode and none of us remember it. So it's a quick story. I don't know what prompted me to remember this, but I think I was in 8th grade. And I remember, I don't even know what class it was. We were just starting to like move from, classroom to classroom, within the last couple of years. So you're kind of getting used to that, and
So-called clusters.
yeah. And so I was in a class and there was a kid sitting in front of me and he was sucking on a fireball. Okay. And
Oh,
he
no.
coughed or sneezed. I don't remember what it was, but all of a sudden the fireball was in his nostril
Dude, you have to.
and hanging out of his fucking nostril.
Yeah,
and he's
looking like Total
screaming.
Recall and shit.
He's
Oh, my
screaming,
God.
screaming that it burns, and we're just like, what the fuck? So he was screaming, and the teacher's trying to help him. And I mean, what do you do? I mean, like, it was too big to keep going through the nostril, so it was like had his nostril
Dude,
like
yeah, like-
stretched out. Like a head trying to, leave the, the
That shit
womb.
would fucking suck.
It
dude.
was fucking crazy, and everybody's laughing and shit at him. And they wound up taking him to the nurse's office, but she couldn't get it out, so they wound up having to take him to the hospital about it.
God, dude, a fireball too, dude. And those things were big back in the day.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying. He was.
goddamn, like the diameter of like a quarter.
Yeah, so it must have been I'm guessing a sneeze, maybe. I don't know. He was.
Dude,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know
that
how he
sucked
did it.
so much.
It's like he didn't choke on it.
I know it's so fucked up, but yeah, poor bastard. I don't even remember his name. I wouldn't say it if I did, but.
That sucks.
Yeah, so there's some good little quick trilogy of mayhem there for you. Also, just as I mentioned, I had the carpal tunnel surgery on my right hand so far so good. I'm out of the brace, and I've just got a 1 pound weight restriction. Can't pick up anything, he said, more than a cell phone.
Guess you can't grab your dick now, can you?
I guess not. So, yeah, so it's been weird, and I'm right-handed, so that's been kind of a pain in the ass. But I'm dealing with it, and so thanks. I've had a few people reach out and ask how I was doing, so I appreciate that. All right, I've also talked about the Creation of Chaos 3, the collection of short stories I released here recently. It's on Audible if you're into that, iTunes, Amazon if you like audiobooks. Or you could go down to the Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop in downtown Bloomington, Illinois. And I'm going to be doing a book signing there on the 30th of October. That's a Saturday. And we're going to be there on the 19th recording our Halloween episode, Chris, on witchcraft. That should be cool. Cool setting for it.
We have a lot of good pictures from that shit.
Yeah, because they're not open to the public, so don't come down there thinking you're going to be like in the, we can't. The doors will be locked, but we're going to be in there with the owners, Mike and Stephanie, and they've been selling my book and been friends for many, many years. So we definitely support what they're doing. And like I said, I'll be there and we'll be there with the podcast. So we got a lot going on at that place.
Yeah, we got a lot of good shit going on, like I said.
Yeah, really morbid, curious type stuff. So if that's your thing, go check them out. Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop, downtown Bloomington, Illinois. Also, Deeper Than Dead, the novel I'm working on, is about 60% done. Things are going really well. Pretty happy with the way the story's developing. It's kind of taking more shape now and starting to really play itself out. They always say, Stephen King at least, that the really good characters and stories tell themselves, and he's exactly right. Because this one is in that mode. It's just I'm trying to keep up with it instead of the other way around.
Good stuff so far.
Thank you. Thanks, CK. All right, the killer cage match is a favorite of our listeners, Chris. We have 70 killers, 70 objects for them to fight with, and our listeners pick random numbers. And we want to say thanks.
Once again, we have Justin Morris, Rebecca Boomsack, and Sarah Miller fucking killing.
Hell yeah, and Justin's been a listener of ours since the very, very beginning. He's been in here once or twice, so always good to have him and Rebecca, as you mentioned, Chris, every goddamn time. She is always quick to the punch with these, and we appreciate it. So, and Sarah, awesome. We got a good one tonight, Joey, an interesting duo fighting to death in a steel cage.
Tonight we got this fucking fight. It's so fucking awesome. Killer cage match. Left-hand side, Robert Padella, torturing young fellas. Kansas City Butcher fighting on the right-hand side. English serial killer Ian Brady.
Yes, the Moors murder.
Moors.
But he doesn't have his Myrna Hindley, so she's not with him.
I see her on the wall in the studio behind
She
Crystal.
is.
Right
yeah,
there.
her mugshot is there. So that's going to be an interesting fight, and they got two objects to fight with. All right, CK, and what are the objects they're going to be fighting with tonight?
A rusty bear trap.
Gotta love
And
that
long-
one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And a long sock filled with quarters.
Oh,
That hurts
prison
too.
shit.
I'm still going to say I think a Rusty Bear Trap's a
Vagina.
menstrually bloody covered vagina.
Yeah,
That's very
definitely.
possible.
It-
And the
it-
variable, though, is a little disturbing, CK.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know if I like this variable.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
Hillary Clinton naked and drunk after partying at the Nation.
Oh, damn.
Why? There's no
Oh,
reason
God.
this should be at the Nation.
The Shawback Nation.
Oh,
Hell
my
no.
God.
Hillary Clinton naked and drunk partying
Yeah.
at the Nation.
That just
Damn.
sounds like somebody I don't want to fucking be around.
Nope.
All right, so thanks to our listeners, we've got one hell of an interesting one. We got Robert Berdella, the Kansas City Butcher, and the English serial killer Ian Brady in a cage fighting to the death with a rusty bear trap, a long sock filled with quarters, and we got Hillary Clinton in there running around naked, drunk after being found to be partying at the Nation. All right. I don't even know what to do, Chris. Where do we go from here?
First of all, Clinton ain't never been to the Nation.
Oh, damn. So the Nation is officially denying it then.
So,
okay.
But Berdella and Brady both don't even give a shit. They're just like appalled. They're like, so they just like, you want to take care of this before we get in? So they just both like just go kill Clinton, whatever. Then fucking, I'm pretty sure Berdella just grabs that bear trap and fucking throws it, and he fucking catches Brady by his leg, ties fucking Brady up with the sock, doesn't even worry about the quarters. He's just like, he just wants a sock just for some bondage shit.
Okay.
Has his way with Brady, and Berdella wins.
Okay. CK, what about you, man? What is your take on this whole craziness?
I think is Berdella is going to throw Brady into the bear trap.
Oh, okay.
After he immobilizes him, he's going to take that roll of the sock and quarters and just bash Hillary because he can't take it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Okay.
Then when he's done with that, he's going to finish off Brady by just going, fucking jail cell on him and just beat the shit out of him with the quarters.
Okay.
All right.
Joey? So you're going with Berdella?
Berdella for the win.
Okay. Very good. Joey?
I feel like when the bell rings, Berdella and fucking Brady, I mean, that fight ain't nothing. Robert Berdella is just going to fucking take that bear trap and just fucking beat Brady with it. He's not even going to fucking
with
trap
the
him.
trap, yeah.
He's going to beat him with the
Bludgeon him
trap.
with it. Okay.
He's going to kill Brady, and then he's going to fucking turn all his focus on that fucking stupid drunk bitch that was hanging out at the Nation, Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wow.
He's going to walk over, and he's going to fucking... She's so fucking wasted that he just fucking pushes her over. He takes that whole long sock filled with quarters and shoves them up her cunt. And then he takes the rusty bear trap, throws it at her rusty bear trap.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
clamps that shit shut and then stomps on her face until it's a bloody mess. Then he's like, holy fuck, I ain't got no change to get the bus back home. So he
gotta
fucking
get back in
cuts
there.
her stomach open and fucking takes the quarters out and puts them in his pocket and leaves winner.
All right, you win.
Wow.
Yeah, no
Okay.
quarters.
Yeah, I think on a physical standpoint, Berdella's gonna be able to take Ian Brady. He's a fucking child molester / child killer for the most part, as far as I know. So yeah, that's good and interesting scenarios. I don't know. I definitely would agree with you guys. I think Berdella
Yeah.
is
Berdella,
the
no
winner.
matter what, he's the winner.
But the
yeah.
Hillary Clinton
Gotta
thing from
go
the
with the-
Nation, that's funny.
No, it's not.
But according to the Nation,
You know who wouldn't think that's funny?
My dad.
Yeah.
yeah, oh, I'm sure. But I mean, that's what makes it fun. But
No, that would be
the
a
Nation is officially
That would be
denying
a killer
it.
cage match, though. Drunk Hillary Clinton showing
His
up
first paw
at
back?
the Nation with paw back.
Oh wow!
Got fucked up my yard.
All right. Well, I think we've done plenty of mayhem tonight, so let's hit that fucking outro.
Shit, yeah.
All right. It's a merciful fate, desecration of souls.
Yeah.
CK doesn't get much more classic than the Don't Break the
No.
Oath album. That's so amazing. That's
There's
what
always
got me
that-
into those guys. So
There's
wicked.
That debate.
Yeah, such a great album. All right, the bumper music tonight, Ozzy, Behemoth, Merciful Fate. As we said, there's so many bands we could have played in this one with so much influence.
Fucking
Crazy
by
with Crowley.
dude.
So, CK, your intro music is
That
by
should
which
be a band
band?
right there. Crazy with Crowley.
That's right. That's right. CK,
No,
who
no.
does your intro, buddy?
None other than Crisis.
Hell yeah. And Joey, Murder Metal Mayhem intro.
Low 12.
You got it. And 666 fucking 6,
Onslaught,
Chris.
motherfucker.
You got that shit right. Thank you to everybody out there listening. We keep seeing the numbers rolling in. We appreciate it. And thank you so much. Got some good comments, though. Chris, why don't you take the first one there?
We got Ramona McCorkle. Sorry. Yeah, Ramona McCorkle says, I heard about you guys. Hold on. I heard about you guys from a guy I started dating and love the podcast. You guys sound like you have fun talking about fucked up shit. Love it in Boulder, Colorado.
Hell
Fuck
yeah,
dude. Hell yeah.
Thanks, Ramona.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking cool. All right, Joey.
Danny Russo commented, I just moved to Austin, Texas, and I found you on Spotify on the drive here from Connecticut. You guys kill it, and I love the CK's in Connecticut, and Pete and Joey are from there, too.
Hell yeah.
Fucking right, dude.
Thanks, Danny. That's fucking cool.
It's not Daniel LaRusso. It's Danny Russo.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, Karate Kid. CK, what about that third one?
I like this name.
Yeah.
Mary Quite Contrary commented, "Hey guys, the show is fantastic. I love the true crime and metal mashup every week. Huge fan of the cage matches. Hails from Toronto."
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Fucking right.
Get a lot of listeners from up from Canada.
We do. Devil Dogs 666 commented, I live in Sydney, Australia, and this podcast is great. Thanks for playing the great Aussie metal. So fuck yeah, Devil Dog.
They've fucking been playing a lot of
A lot of
metal,
good
dude.
Australian
Fuck yeah.
bands, that's for damn sure. Don't forget to check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to all our past episodes. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher. I mean, really, wherever you're listening, CastBox, iTunes, there's so many of them. So wherever that is, thank
Not
you.
on it.
No, I haven't run into that either. Support the show by joining that 666 Club, the Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. I'll also link to that. $3 a month, guys. Nothing. And you get all kinds of cool perks, the show early, discounts on merch, the karaoke songs when I get them done, and all that. So you can also go to creationofchaos.com if you want to pick up one of my books. And as I mentioned,
Fuck yeah.
the audio book, Chris, I did it finally after your suggestion, and Creation of Chaos 3 is on Audible, iTunes, and Amazon in audio form.
Fucking
So
right.
if that's how you like to consume your books, a lot of people do. Like literally half the people that consume books are doing it that way. So maybe give it a try if you've never done it before.
I like audiobooks.
Yeah, they're really cool. We can't let them go, though, without hearing a karaoke song. I did not get to do one this week, unfortunately, but this was a good one I did not too long ago. It's just ridiculous. So
You know you love it.
crank it the fuck up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And keep your fist in a ghost butthole. Do what thou wilt.
Check, 1, 2. I came into this world as a reject. Look into these eyes, then you see the size of the flame. Dwelling on the past, burden on my brain. Everyone that burns to learn from the pain. Hey, I think about the day my girlie ran away with my pay when the fellas could play. Now she's stuck with my homies and she fucked. I'm a sucker with the lump in my throat. Hey, like a chump, I'm like a chump, like a chump, like a chump. I'm like a chump, like a chump, like a chump. Should I be feeling bad? Should I be feeling good? It's kinda sad. I'm the laughing stock of the neighborhood, and you would think I'd be moving on, but I'm a sucker, like I said. Fucked up in the head, not. Maybe she just made a mistake, and I should give her a break.
my heart'll ache either way. Hey, what the hell you want me to say? I won't lie, that I can't deny. I did it all for the nookie. So you can take the cookie. Sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your. I did it all for the nookie. You can take the cookie and stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your ass. Why did it take so long? Why did I wait so long, huh? To figure it out, but I did it, and I'm the only one underneath the sun who didn't get it. I can't believe that I could be deceived by my so-called girl, but in reality, had a hidden agenda. She put my tender heart in a blender till I surrendered. Hey, like a chump, I'm like a chump, like a chump, like a chump, I'm like a chump, like a chump, like a chump. I did it all for the nookie, so you can take the cookie, sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your. I did it all for the nookie, so you can take the cookie, sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your, sing it up your ass. I'm only human. It's so easy for your friends to give you their advice. They'll just tell you, just let it go. It's easier said than done. I appreciate it, I do. But just fucking leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Nothing's gonna change, and you can't go away. And I'm just gonna stay here and always be the same. And nothing's gonna change, 'cause you can't go away. And I'm just gonna stay here and always be the same. Nothing's gonna change, 'cause you can't go away. Nothing's gonna stay here and always be the same. I did it all for the nookie, so you can take the cookie and stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your. I did it all for the nookie, so you can take the cookie and stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your ass, bitch. This one goes out to my buddy Pizza Radovich, the biggest Limp Bizkit fan on the face of the fucking earth. Love you, brother.